Hi, I'm Brian Hopkins. Welcome to Vinyl People Records. Vinyl People Records opened in the summer of 2023. It was June 10th, and we opened at 3:13 p.m., which was a nod to the Detroit area code 313. Owning a record store kind of came about from my love of music and my past experience DJing. I'm a lifelong DJ, and now it's just kind of became a natural progression, I would say, from being a DJ as I got older. It just seemed to be a really great fit. I would say my earliest memory about falling in love with music would have been this late night show that came on with a DJ by the name of The Wizard. His real name is Jeff Mills. He still plays today as a DJ. But it was this late night radio mix show that would come on, when everybody was supposed to be in bed. And I just remember taking my boom box and recording these sessions late at night while my parents were like going crazy. Why are you still up? What are you doing? And I would say that is my fondest and earliest memories of really falling in love with music. I think the thing I love about vinyl the most is its inconvenience. The inconvenience part of it is wonderful. You really have to be engaged in the artist and really want to interact, because it's not as simple as pushing a button and having it instantaneously at your fingertips. A record takes some it takes some doing on your part. You got to pull it out of the sleeve. You got to set it down on a turntable. You got to move the needle over to the turntable. You got to get up and flip it for the other half of the record. So I think that the inconvenience of it is probably the coolest thing about it. You really get to dig in and sit and enjoy the artist. Look at the cover art and pull the liner notes out. Read the back of the album, find out who's who and what you like about them. Say, like, for instance, you like a producer, you can dig. You can get just so in depth with a record. And the other thing too is, I'm sure you've heard the term that it sounds warmer. I don't know how to explain that to you really until you experience it yourself, but a record does have this feeling over it. It's a warming sensation that you have to experience on your own. The best score that we've had to date with buying records was a 7-inch, which is a 45, MC5 record, and it was called I Can Only Give You Everything. It was on an AMG Records, and it was a Detroit 60s label that did not last very long. So that is probably the best score to date that we found out of a collection. I would say the genre of music that sold the most here in the store would be hip hop, with punk being a close second and then metal right behind it. But I would say probably hip hop is our probably most sold genre of music at the moment. The hottest album in the store, believe it or not, even though that hip hop and metal and punk are probably the best sellers, the hottest album would probably definitely be Fleetwood Mac Rumors. This album, it just doesn't last when it gets into the store. This is a original first pressing. You can always tell from the textured sleeve that's on it. They're not entirely expensive, but they do sell rather quickly. They don't last. When they come into the store, they're gone almost instantly. So I find several records that I find that are maybe misunderstood that I champion often here at the record store. The one I'm kind of on right now is this Glencoe. I was pleasantly surprised. It's not an expensive album by any way, shape, or form, but it was just amazing, and it makes you wonder when you hear stuff like this, why the artist really didn't make it, and it lets you explore things that you might not have normally listened to that may be mainstream. This is an album that I would say that I champion and would recommend that somebody listen to. That it's just not an expensive, big deal record. I don't know if they're difficult to find or not, but Glencoe, it's a great record right now for me. So if I was stranded on a desert island and I was only able to pick one record and one record only, it would be Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. This album was pivotal for me. I remember it coming out in '87 and I was just absolutely blown away. And it's still one of my favorite albums to this day. I think one of the biggest fringe benefits of having the record store is meeting all these people that I come across. There's been a lot of customers that I now consider friends. We get to sit, talk about music, talk about shows, getting together, and one thing leads to another, and you've got now groups of friends. So I think probably the coolest thing about owning the record store is definitely all the friends that I've made so far along the way. It's absolutely brilliant. The rarest record that we've ever had in the store to date is the Afghan Wigs. It was a record by the name of Big Top Halloween. Came out in 1998. No, I'm sorry, 1988 on Ultra Suede label. It was a really short-lived label out of Cincinnati, Ohio. This record's almost impossible to find. I never even see them come up for sale. That is the rarest record that we've had in the store to date so far. It's very valuable, and I would say that was definitely the rarest record that we've had so far in the store. So the rarest record that we have in the store currently to date is this. It's John Coltrane and Alice Coltrane. It's on Coltrane Record Corporation. It is probably, it's definitely the rarest record that we have in the store to date. It's pretty pricey piece of history, but definitely the rarest record that we have in the store at the current moment. So I would have to pick 5 albums. If I had to pick 5 albums, and they were my top. I love all kinds of stuff. But if I had to choose only 5, it would be these. It would be Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction, De La Soul, 3 Feet High and Rising, Nirvana, Nevermind, Pearl Jam, 10, and Love Supreme by John Coltrane. These would be my top 5 picks of albums. Now, I like a lot more, but these are my top 5. Thanks for checking us out. We're Vinyl People Records, located at 34785 Ford Road in Westland, Michigan. You can find us on the web at www.vinylpeoplerecords.com and all the socials at /Vinyl People Records. Thanks for checking out.